Today I'm going to be demonstrating how I use my motorcycle, which is a Kawasaki Ninja 300, and also I will demonstrate the different techniques I use while riding to ensure my safety, and also I will be showing the different things I wear and use while riding to also ensure my safety. The way I got into riding motorcycles was my father is big into sport bikes and traveling to different places such as the Dragon's Tail and North Carolina and different things like that. And I kind of got into the hobby as well with him as I've gotten older and as I've had the opportunity to drive one of my own. Motorcycles are defined as a two-wheeled motor vehicle that is similar to a bicycle but is more heavy and more difficult to ride. And I got that definition from dictionary.com. Another fact is according to the Motorcycle Industry Council, 20% of riders are now women, which is really big because it's become more popular for women to ride motorcycles nowadays. And also another fact of motorcycles is that in 2016, 5,286 motorcycle riders were killed, according to the Motorcycle League Foundation. And this is due mostly to the fact that when people ride, they don't use the proper safety materials like a helmet or a jacket or anything like that, and that's why most of them have passed away due to not wearing helmets. And my first visual aid is a thing from a Motorcycle Industry Council that's a little chart that shows different statistics about it, like 19% of all motorcycle riders are now women, and also that 81% of female riders have a college degree. The first thing I'm going to be showing you of the materials I use is the most important thing in my opinion, which is my helmet. And I think this is so important because it protects your head, which is the most important part of your body. And it also protects you from the sun, from this visor, or you might wear sunglasses if you don't have a visor. And it also protects you from bugs that might fly in your face. And so I really think this is the most important thing for me to wear while riding. Another important part of riding is wearing a jacket, which ensures that if you were to fall off your motorcycle, there's padding, like elbow padding and shoulder padding, to make sure that if you fell off, you'd be protected, and also to protect you from road rash if you were to fall off. Another important aspect of safety materials is your motorcycle pants, and those also have padding in the knees, and they also ensure you safety from road rash if you were to get it from falling off. Another important thing is your gloves, and these have little knuckle things that protect you from if something was like debris or something was to come and hit your hands. That protects you, and also just for some comfort while riding. And last but not least, one of the most important things to wear is your motorcycle boots. And mine have this little tiny strip of plastic that's hard that is also just an extra protectant if you were to rub on the road with your toes. And boots are just important because they have these are leather, so they're really tough, and they're durable, and they keep your ankles safe and your toes safe. So those are all the things that keep you really protected if you're riding motorcycles, and that ensure you to be safe while riding. Next, I will show you how you operate my motorcycle, and unfortunately I can't turn it on because it would be really loud, but I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And the first thing I do when I get on is I get on, hold the brake while I get on, just make sure it doesn't go anywhere while I'm trying to get on, and make sure I have good balance on it. Then I put my kickstand up, and I'll turn on my key, and it'll get turned on and everything, and I make sure my engine switch is on, and then I also make sure my lights are on while riding. Then normally I have it in neutral just to get started, and I'll press the start engine button, which I'm not going to do right now. But that's the first step I would do. Then as your motorcycle gets warmed up and you're starting to go, you want to pull on your clutch and push down on your shift and push it into first gear. And that's just the first one to get you started, to get some power going. And as you increase your speed, then you increase and you take your foot and you push up. And that'll take you into second, third, fourth, fifth, and it just depends on your motorcycle how many gears you have. And another important part that I make sure I'm doing while I'm riding to make sure I'm safe is I want to keep my shoulders up and I want to keep my hips square, so that way I have good control over my motorcycle when I'm turning. And I also want to make sure before I get on too that I'm checking my mirrors to make sure I can see well behind me. And I want to make sure my tire pressure is good, so that way I'm not riding and get a flat tire or anything like that. And so that's really how I use my motorcycle. When I get off, I also hold the brake, the front brake, just to make sure it's safe, put down the kickstand, and then I get off safely and slowly. Another important part of riding is driving defensively, especially when you're on a major highway like 27, there's a lot of stop and go traffic. You want to make sure that you're riding really defensively, because people will be texting, people will be not paying attention to things around you, and you just have to be overprotective. And I just have always remembered one thing while riding, is just to drive like everybody's out to get you, because nobody pays attention, and especially to motorcyclists, you don't have a car around you protecting you. Another important thing is making sure while you're riding that you always have in your brain escape routes. So these are things that, like when you're on the road and you're sitting at a stoplight and someone's coming up behind you and you don't think they're going to stop, having these escape routes are really helpful, because if you need to get off the road quickly, that's what an escape route is. So say you're sitting at a stoplight, you see somebody in your mirror coming up and they're not paying attention and they're not stopping, and you see a turning lane next to you where nobody's at. That can be considered an escape route, somewhere you can get up quickly over and prevent yourself from getting hit or from getting injured. And my last visual aid is a picture on escape routes, and that just shows you basically what I just said. If you're in traffic and you want to have a lane just to be protected and get over. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.